Hello guys, and thank you for joining me. My name is Eugen, and today I wanted to share with you my opinions on the vintage lever fountain pen TwoFold No.1. This fountain pen is basically a combo fountain pen, includes a pencil and a fountain pen obviously. I have purchased this fountain pen from Stef at Grandmia Pens after he presented it in one of his videos, and he mentioned it was available. I pretty much jumped on it because I found the fountain pen quite intriguing, and it matches quite a lot with what I do, drawings. Since I usually first of all do the drawing in pencil just to create some bounding boxes and make sure I get the proportions right within the page that I have before committing with ink. While I've been using fountain pens for a very long time, personally, when it came to drawing, I've been using mostly pencils or mechanical pencils. I very rarely did drawings in ink, and maybe that's another reason why I tend to do the drawings first of all in pencils, because I enjoy using the pencil and gives me a reason to use it. And then I commit with ink. What I really liked about this fountain pen is that unlike other fountain pens that had a combo of pencil and fountain pen, is that the pencil, it's pretty much attached to the cap, and you could use it just as is without opening the cap, and no one would know any better. They would think it's just a pencil, which is quite funny. The only thing that gives it away, it's a fountain pen, is the lever on the side. Okay, before showing off the nib and the fountain pen part, I just wanted to show off the pencil part. One maybe a little bit not so great thing is that this pencil basically is just a lead that it's inserted into a sleeve. So basically this is not something that you can retract or take out. This is just kind of manually fixed in that sleeve. I haven't attempted to remove it because I don't want to break it yet. So once I'll get to the point where I will not be able to use it, that's when I'll try and attempt and see if I can move that lead. Quite an interesting approach. And apparently the technology has been patented, at least back in the days. On the barrel, basically, you have the inscription of the fountain pen, TwoFold No.1. I'm not sure if this is what that actually means, or if there were more models from this. Apparently, it was made in England, and this is the patent number. Gotta admit, this is quite unique, and I really like it. I tried to see if I can find another one on other auction sites. I personally failed. I was not able to find this anywhere else. So I guess the downside of this fountain pen, it's rare and hard to find, or at least based on my findings, seems to be rare and hard to find. Okay, going into the nib. The nib, it's very interesting as well. I had a similar nib on another fountain pen lever style as well, but I have replaced it with something else. Basically, this nib is not really tipped, but the writing part seems to be stamped. This is like a hollow ball in there, or I'm not sure how to call it, half a ball. And that's what creates the tipping, the the tip of the nib. Come on, focus. There we go. Interesting. And on the nib it says, let's see if we can read it. Guaranteed non-corrosive. Well, that's actually good. Anyway, I'm not sure how much this fountain pen has been used. The nib looks in pretty decent shape. And as I was testing it on the piece of paper, it's still smooth from my testing. It's a little bit chatty, just like a normal, regular tipped nib. And I haven't inked it yet, so I'm curious on the line variations that he has, if he has any. And I'm curious to see if I can actually use it on reverse. On reverse will be pretty much a very sharp edge. So should be interesting if I can actually use it. As you can see, it kind of goes a little bit up, almost like a footed nib. For writing, the previous nib that I had, it was pretty pleasant to write with, but I never tried it for drawing. The pen does cap. It's fairly securely, but I think if you really grab it pretty tight, it will move. However, being a very light pen, you tend to grab it very gingerly, as they say, and the cap, it's actually balancing the pen very well. I like it. It's basically kind of in the middle of the pen, the balance. The clip, it's usable. It's mostly like a shirt clip, so you won't be able to put it in a book or something that has a thicker edge. Uncapped, or I mean unposted, it might be a little bit short, but it's pretty good for quick notes taking. One thing that I usually do when I have fountain pens as small as this, I try to put basically the fountain pen here and make it as an extension of my finger, and then I can actually use it very comfortably without any issues. Anyway, this is a fountain pen. Weight dimensions are in the description. I will try to quickly fill it up and see how it writes, see what lines it can draw, and then I'm gonna go into a drawing session with it and see what's what. For the drawing that I was planning to do today, it requires again something a little bit darker, so I'm going back to the Noodler's black ink. I'll be honest though, I never thought about this. I don't know how this ink affects the sac inside. Hopefully it won't damage it more than it should. Now the problem is this is a very small fountain pen, so I have to tilt the bottle a little bit and make sure I don't drop it. Wait a couple of seconds. Okay, and do it again. Sometimes the first fill is just mostly to prime the feed properly, so you won't get really a good feel out of it. And now, wait a couple of seconds again. And in theory, this should be it, I hope. No ink windows, so you won't be able to tell if you did a good job or not. Well done, let me put away the bottle, I don't want to spill the ink around. Cleans very nicely, as far as I can see. Alright. Probably I will be using this pen posted. So oh, that's a nice line. Okay, so I get a little bit of line variation. E5 right, a little bit more upright. Oh, reverse. Ah, reverse gives me a pretty nice fine line. I like it. And I have a line variation on the reverse. That's kind of cool. And I noticed that with this one, actually, the tines do spread a little bit. So you can get a little bit of sort of a flex nib. So, like I said, a very interesting nib. I really like it. And well, I guess let's try the name of the pen. TwoFold. This I lifted the pen. This was not the pen, that was me. Wet, very wet line. Pretty cool. All right. So this should be interesting. Actually, going to the drawing that I'm going to do today. Again, like usual, it's based on one of my pictures that you can see on the screen right now. Today, I'm going to try to draw a butterfly. As I was doing the ink sketch, not the ink sketch, the pencil sketch, I actually used this font, this pencil, obviously. I forgot my words. And I gotta admit, the lines are not bad. It's a very soft pencil or lead that he has. And it's perfect for drawing your first lines before you do your ink sketch. So perfect combo for what I need, I would say. So yeah, as I was looking at this little sucker, these butterflies are complicated. Like they have a lot of parts, and the more you go close up and look at it, the more is amazed you are by what you see. It's like look at his leg. It's bulkier than I ever be. Let's put it that way. But it always looks like it. Anyway, this should be an interesting drawing for me. I never attempted to draw a butterfly this close up, and especially in ink. So as usual, I'll try and do the best out of it, get a really good test with this fountain pen, and I'll be seeing you in a couple of minutes, or pretty much instantly if you'll skip this part, with conclusions. Cool, see ya! Okay, I am back. I really enjoyed this drawing actually. It turned out to be very interesting. Especially towards the end, I was trying to do something in here, but I didn't like it that much. And then I remember, hey, this nib can flex. So I kind of started doing a little bit of like a drop shadow, starting from thick and then going through thin by just lifting the pen a little bit. And it worked very well. As a fun fact, I think this is kind of the first time when I had to refill the fountain pen. I ran out of ink somewhere around here, and then I have to refill it and finish it up. It was actually funny. So I guess because it's kind of on the small size, the sack inside most probably is not that big. And, just to give a little bit of a peek as well towards another video that I'll be working on. As you can see, normal size sack is just as big as the, at least for this fountain pen that I'm working on, it's just as big as the actual pen. So the sack inside is not that big, doesn't hold that much ink, but it's still good enough. I mean, the nib is extremely wet. Even on this paper, it was gushing ink, especially when I was spreading those lines. And very smooth. I love it. For those of you that really enjoy drawing with ink and nibs, I challenge you to try and get a hold of a pen that has this kind of nib. You might like it. I was extremely surprised by it, and I'll definitely use it again when I'm drawing. The only downside of it, I guess, will be that carrying it will be. I will be scared to carry it because since it's so rare and unique, from what I've seen at least, I really don't want to break this or lose it. So yeah, I mean, pros and cons. Kind of hard to say pros and cons on something that is as old as this, because first of all, you don't really find it, and when you find it, you can only enjoy it, right? It's literally a piece of history that it's fun to use. Nevertheless, if by any chance you ever come across this fountain pen and you want to consider it, here's my cons and pros. And no, pros and cons. I can't find my words. Well, it is about 1:13 a.m. So it's kind of late. So I have to go to bed. Anyway, so pros. From my point of view, it's a combo. It has a pencil, it has a fountain pen. And if you run out of ink, you can easily switch to the pencil and you can use it. I can't spell. And the pencil is not very soft, or the lead in the pencil is not very soft, but it's readable, it's working. And while replacing it might be a little bit odd, you can definitely replace it. So there's that. Another positive is basically the fountain pen is really nice, really light. So if you like a light pen, but sort of a girthy is not on the thin side, this is a perfect fit, I would say. And the nib, again, from my perspective, it's a beautiful nib. Not tipped, but you can get a lot out of it, right? I mean, you can have thin lines, like medium lines, thinner-ish lines when you write a little bit more upright. It flexes a little bit. Well, not flexes, but more like, depending on the angle, it's like a stub nib. Hold on. it dried out. Okay. It's more like a stab nib, so on the down it's thicker, on the up or this angle it's a little bit thinner. So it's a stab nib. You can write like basically bold nib, not bold. Is it bold? Yes, bold. Bold nib. You can flex, and you can get some really nice line variation. I'll definitely be keeping my eyes open for these kind of nibs. I love them. From my point of view, that's a very big positive. And I guess the other ones, it's a lever filler. It is a positive for me because I love lever filler fountain pens. It's unique. I've never seen this kind of fountain pen, and I'm happy Stef showed it off, and I'm happy this fountain pen was up for grabs because I really love it. So what's on the kind of a positive and negative side? Well, it posts, I mean, sorry, I couldn't find my words in there and I pause. It posts, but it is securely, but it's a little bit raggedy, basically. So if you grab it a little bit more tight, or if you press on it, it actually, the cap moves a little bit, and that might be annoying. And going back to the nib, even though for me it's a big positive, what you might not like about it is that it's not actually tipped. From what I can see, it's just stamped. So you might not like that. Negatives as well, which was on the positive side, I mean, it's, again, from what I've seen, this fountain pen, it's very rare, so hard to find. And basically that lead, I'm not sure how hard it will be to replace because it's not extractable. That might be an inconvenience. And at the same time, I guess, if you want to use it for quick notes, it's maybe on the small side and you might not like that. Again, the trick for me, usually, like I said, I put it under the finger here, and then I use it basically as an extension of my finger. And that for me has worked well. I had it uncapped, so it dried out. I can't believe it, so much ink. This thing is such a beautiful gusher. I can only imagine how you will write with an ink that it's has more shade to it. Anyway, I got distracted by the ink. And yeah, I mean, as cons or negatives goes, that's all I have to say. Overall, I have to admit I do love this pen. It's hard not to like it. And that nib, I'm really amazed by that nib. I really like that nib. I know I have another one somewhere in a drawer. I think I'm gonna go back and put it back on the fountain pen that I had it. Anyway, that's all for today. Next time, I guess I'll be coming back with something more modern. What, I don't know yet. For now, I just say thank you very much for joining me. Thank you kindly for going through my video all the way to the end, if you had the patience to go all the way to the end. And at the same time, at the moment of recording this video, I have 32 subscribers. I can't believe that. Honestly, I never looked and hoped to have any subscribers, but whoever is here and stuck with me, thank you very much for subscribing to my channel. I'll try and keep on going as much as I can for as long as I can, and I appreciate the support. Anywho, time to go to bed. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Have a good night or a good day wherever you are. Bye.